What's up, y'all? It's a little nice out, so we're gonna be outside with it today for the Bad Boys LA Season 1, Episode 3, Chit Chat. So the episode comes on with, you know, still the melee from that ended last week's episode between Moolah and Carry On and Curtis. That that's on there for just a couple, probably not even a full 2 minutes or so. So then it picks up the next morning with Curtis and Moolah being in the kitchen. No, they were outside. And they was discussing what happened the night before. So Moolah says he doesn't want to come off as a homophobe or that he hate all gay people because he knows some people that's gay. And they straightforward with it. So he feels like Carry On should be straightforward with it too. But that's still, you still in the same breath trying to force someone to tell you what their sexuality is. And you can't force anybody to out themselves. So, they have their talk. As they're talking, here comes Malone, and Malone let him know like you was dead wrong. Malone made very very good points during this entire conversation. You are trying to force this man to out himself. Mullah Mo says, well, that wasn't really his intention. Maybe he said it wrong. He had been drinking. He's not a drinker. And we find out during this conversation that Milan and Mullah Mo have previous dealings with each other as far as Milan coming on his show. Because he did mention he had a radio show or a radio station or something to that effect. So they had past professional dealings with each other. So we gets back inside the house. We see Gutter, Rally, and Carry On. It looks like they're on like a roof or a patio or something somewhere. And Carry On is being not Carry On. Gutter is very flirty with Carry On, rubbing on his chest and all that. And Carry On is taking it like light in a lighthearted fashion or whatever. And Raleigh is like, oh, so y'all two already linking up? Y'all got something going? And Carry On is giving a face like, no, not really or whatever. So Carry On is comfortable in his sexuality in the sense that he doesn't get offended. To me, this is how I'm looking at it. He doesn't get offended with them becoming a little bit flirty. Well, not just them, but Gutter being, flirty and stuff like that. Speaking of Gutter, I heard somebody mention on one of their videos that there was a video of Gutter fighting somebody that's bigger than him, and he handled the person. And so I did my own little YouTube research to try to figure out who this person was that he was fighting. And I came across a couple of videos. And the one I came across when he was fighting somebody named We Love Shay. And when I looked at it, I said, well, let me go figure out who We Love Shay is. And I came across their video. And I remember seeing them on TikTok in some videos. And I always thought that they were really pretty, right? And I'm saying they because I don't know what their pronoun preference is. And I try to respect people in their pronouns. So, anyway, Gutter and this, I went into a little small rabbit hole to figure out what happened because I was reading the comments that, in that fight, Shay lost. But, people were saying that Shay lost the fight or whatever. But they really respect Shay because Shay was still acting like a friend. Even though them and their friend just got into the fight, which is the Shay and Gutter fight. And I'm like, well, what happened? Like, what made them stop being friends? What made them get to that point? So I did, like I said, went down the rabbit hole, found a video from Shay discussing what happened. And I was just like, wow. Because I really like Gutter on Bad Boys LA. Gutter is my favorite person on the show of Bad Boys LA. But going back into seeing different things, like I saw that in my research, and I saw why they stopped being friends. And I also saw a video of Gutter crying. Somebody that he trusted went out and put some of his personal information out there about his health. And I thought that was real fucked up, That was real fucked up. And apparently Shay was there for Gutter during that time and was 10 toes down for Gutter. and gotta repay them by uh, remaining friends with someone who backstabbed, in a sense, backstabbed Shay, and gotta kept being cool with them, and that bothered Shay. They stopped being friends for that reason. But yeah, back to the show. Gotta about that, like, gotta really fights. I can say from all that to say gotta really fights. But where was I at? Oh yeah, so gotta we outside, so you know you're gonna hear the outside elements, the dogs barking and stuff like that. But gotta flirts a little bit with Carry On. Once gotta rubs Carry On's chest, Carry On walks off. Carry On comes and he sees Moolah and Curtis sitting in the kitchen. So he goes up to them and he starts to talk. And again, they pressing him again about what does he identify as sexually. And he tries to flip this script and turn the tables on them, like, well, y'all two wanted to room together, and y'all two been together, and y'all come from the same place, and y'all get down with each other. So what does that make y'all? Like, how does it appear to y'all? Like, tell me what y'all are, so I can know what I'm dealing with. Like, he tried to flip it on them, and then he was like talking in circles and stuff like that, um and Moolah, he he kept dropping slick stuff like, cause you got loud on me. I don't tolerate nobody getting loud on me. So that's why I went upside your head. That's why I went upside your nickel, or whatever he said, the term that he used or whatever. And that got on my nerves. Um, cause he still was standing 10 toes down and the bull crap that he did the night before while he was under the influence. But today he hasn't had any drinks, but yet you still pressing this man and saying the things that you're saying to him, and like talking to him like he a punk. And Carry On said, listen, I ate them punches that y'all gave me last night, that you gave last night. I ate that. I promise you, you don't want to go toe to toe with me. You're going to be tired. You're going to be worn out at the 2-3 minutes. So Carry On talking tough and all that kind of stuff like that. And at the end of the conversation, he came out and said that he was bisexual. I was a little bit disappointed. Not disappointed in his sexual preference, but disappointed that he gave them a answer. Because I feel like he should have never gave them an answer. It's none of their effing business. So anyway, we go from that to seeing Anthony and Milan in Milan's room. So the producers actually put Anthony out that room and told him that that was Milan's room, because now that Andrew Caldwell is off the show, and Milan is the biggest name, so he gonna get the best room or whatever. So he in there putting his stuff away, and him and Anthony talking, and they apologize for the fight that they had the night before. Okay, I'm back. Had to go get something to warm me up because it's pretty out here, but it's chilly. So back to Bad Boys LA season 1, episode number 3. Yeah, number 3. So Anthony and Milan are in Milan's room. Again, they patching up about their little fight the day before, whatever, and they cool now too. That's when Milan gets a text from Natalie, and so he FaceTimes her, and she tells Milan to relay this message to the rest of the houses that they're going to an event, and it's gonna be celebrities there and stuff like that. And, it's at a bowling alley. Wear their best stuff and get ready because they're getting picked up in the next 30 minutes. So Malone comes, and when Malone comes to tell the rest of the house, everybody else is already like in the living room type of area or whatever. And we hear Kurt say something to the effect of, man, it's too many dudes in here. And my whole thing is, but you knew where you were going before you decided to take this job on this reality show. You knew it was going to be a bunch of dudes. Like, what the freak? And I'm really getting, Curtis is a follower. he follow behind whatever Moolah says and does and stuff like that. So, Milan relays the message, Natalie's message, to the guys. So everybody's like, he says, now everybody go get dressed and put your best outfit on. We see Carry On the floor. Carry On said, well, I'm already dressed. And I cackled because this is, I mean, it's not that what he had on was not looking good, but it was like, you've been laying around all day in that. But Carry On just don't give two shits. And I'm kind of digging his personality, to be honest with you. Like, Gutter my favorite person, and I like Carry On too, because Carry On just, he don't care. So anyway, they all go and get dressed, put their little whatever they gonna put on. And when I tell you, when I saw William the Baddest come out in that daggone one piece, I was over it. He has obviously had a BBL, got that little tushy pop, and he really think he a bad bitch. So anyway, speaking of that, in the confessionals, Dylan was like, yeah, we're going to see some celebrities. This going to be a nice little party. I'm going to meet some bad bitches in there. I might get with one of the bad bitches, have sex with. I said, oh, wow. So you got plans on having sex. Oh, speaking of, I didn't mention this, but there was a scene where William and Dylan were in their room having a conversation, and they both talked about having to have a beard, so to speak, to keep people from, trying to fight them and bullying and beating them up for being gay. And William is from Texas, and William had black girlfriends. And Dylan said he had girlfriends too. He didn't say what their race was, but he said he had girls. And he just got to a point where he was just like, fuck it, and I am who I am, I like what I like, and he just let it be or whatever. Because if you recall back to episode number 1, Dylan was trying to give off like, I'm this fly guy and I only mess with bitches. Like, he was like, I fuck bitches and stuff like that. And when somebody say they fuck bitches, I think, even though I don't like to be called a B, when a guy says he fuck bitches, to me, I'm thinking that he means he's having sex with females. So that's why I automatically assume. But you can tell from his mannerisms and stuff, like, William is a little bit flamboyant. I mean, not William, Dylan. So when he's saying, I'm not sure if he's talking about women or men, because he could be bisexual too. We never know. He just hasn't come out to say it. But anyway, they all get on the bus. They talking. Some words get exchanged because Gutter get a little bit flirty and says something slick to the security that's on the bus with them, well, on the Sprinter with them or whatever. And they pull up to the event. They show Natalie come over to the Sprinter, and she want to give them this whole pep talk about representation, how they gonna go in there. They representing the bad boy LA brand. They gotta come up with a brand theme, and what the brand is or whatever, like that, like a marketing thing. And we see a confessional from Milan, like, why is she over here doing this? I don't need no damn pep talk. I'm Milan. I know what this is, or whatever. We also see a confessional from Gutter K, like, this nothing. I'm used to being around celebrities every day, so I'm not about to fan out and act wild like some of these other ones gonna be acting, because this is nothing new to me. This is my regular life. And speaking of Gutter outfit is a freaking sweatshirt, hoodie or whatever, and a denim skirt. Cute, but just regular. It's nothing fancy or whatever like that. So anyway, so they get inside the bowling alley. And I heard them mention that they see the baby, they see London on the track, who's the producer and stuff like that. And at first, when I saw the previews for this episode last week, at the end of last week's episode, I thought it was one of them fighting, but it wasn't. They were actually at the same bowling alley where Danny Lay's brother, I think his name is Brandon, got into the fight with the baby and the baby's security. Because the baby ain't do nothing. It was the baby's security slinging Brandon around by his hair or whatever. But anyway, so the guys get in there and it's crowded as F in there. And I'm looking at it like, what panorama? Because it's lit. So, anyway, William trying to be seen. They get that section. But William is trying to be seen so bad, he just in there twerking all over everything. Just looking a mess. Looking cheap. And at some point during his twerking, his butt touches Mullah Mo, and he can't take it. He can't stand it. He get fed up. He leaves. He walks and goes outside. Kurt follows him. They go outside. They sounded like they been coached on what to say to one another to create a scene. And Curtis is telling him, you basically get yourself together. He probably don't even realize his butt touched you. Just let's go back in there and do what we doing. Get this bag, get this bread, and do what we got to do for this show. So they go back in there, and once they get back in there, they look over, and that's when the fight with Danny Lay brother and the baby's security is happening. And the episode goes off. Now, what did y'all think of the episode? It was decent. It wasn't no fighting with the guys going on, really. Like I said, I'm disappointed that Carry On actually came out and went on and told Moolah and Curtis what his sexual preference was, with him being bisexual. I didn't really care for that. Um, Something that I didn't mention either, that I'm gonna mention now. In the middle of the conversation, when they were in their room with Dylan and William, they were talking and commiserating on stuff that was happening, and they showed Dylan in his confessional say, I mean, yeah, we talking and we cool now, but I still don't trust the bitch. I fucking died laughing. But he right though, because you don't know who you can trust. Like, one minute you fighting somebody, and the next minute they talking in your face, they trying to be cool. You can't. People gonna turn up for the cameras. And somebody in there, I don't know which one of the guys said that, but that is the absolute truth. That most of them was turning up to show out for them freaking cameras or whatever. But all in all, it was decent. I want to see them do more stuff besides just keep fighting each other. It's a lot more that they can do and a lot more that they can show. But it is called Bad Boys, and if it's anything like what Bad Girls Club was, then that's just what you're gonna get. You're gonna get petty stuff and fighting and all those kinds of things like that. That's what those shows are about, you know. And this show stands to be just as big as Jocelyn's cabaret. But at least with this show, for the most part, it's not a pimp hoe type mentality in the house with the guys, and they're not treating each other like that. Um, they might fight each other and stuff like that and go back and forth, but I don't see anybody deliberately exploiting and treating people like trash, like how Jocelyn treats those girls. So yeah, it was a cool episode or whatever. You guys tell me what your thoughts of this episode was, what your thoughts of this review was. And I see you guys in the next one. Y'all go on to have a wonderful, wonderful day. It's real pretty out here. Look like it's sunny and warm, but it's not that warm. It's sunny and cold here in Baltimore. So, I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to click the like button. Click that subscribe button if you haven't. And get in the comments. Let's talk about the show. Your favorite moments of this episode. What was it? Peace.